We're going to go up to Brisbane and chat to Paul Murray, who's standing. Hello, Paul. How are you, mate? You're up in Brizzy. You got your raincoat on. Where's the umbrella, mate? What's happening up there? How are you?
Well, you know, very good. Lovely to see you, Rowan, James, and happy birthday month to you, Rita, of course.
Thank you.
The story this morning... I love you. The story this morning is obviously wind and rain, but it's just how many places don't have power this morning. There's about 300,000 places in southeast Queensland. In Brisbane Central, or the CBD and outer areas, it's 62,000. The Gold Coast, it's, now 112,000. To give you an idea of the wind last night, it moved up from the Gold Coast that copped another battering, but Brisbane just got thumped last night. 105 km/h winds at Redcliffe, and at Hervey Bay, there's been more than 100 millimetres of rain in the past 2 hours. So as we speak, we're at the Energex depot here at Greenslopes. These are the people who are the ones going out in the rain, going out in the wind and trying to get as many places back on. Now, the heartbreaking stuff for them is one step forward, one step back. They were able to get tens of thousands of places reconnected after what happened on Friday night. But they, of course, then got blown around and disconnected by the time we wake up this morning. So plenty more storm. The concern could be flooding. Northern New South Wales, that is its own story as well, after those members of the ADF, many of whom remain in hospital this morning. But the tropical cyclone, which they said, was a fizzer. Well, I've been standing in and around it for a couple of days. Not quite a fizzer if you're in the middle of it.
Well, yes, and we feel poorly for all those people without power. But come on, it was a fizzer. We were told this was going to be some tropical cyclone like the likes of which we've never seen. It was going to be earth-shattering. And yes, we've got a lot of rain and wind during the rain season in Queensland. I mean, come on, they over-egged this one a little bit.
Well, the problem is, right, is that for obvious reasons, all they've got is satellites and the rest of it. It's not on a train track, so they don't know exactly where it's going to hit. In terms of its intensity, look, I think it's a relief, right? Now, normally, I'm completely with everyone about, you know, politicians standing up and telling us it's the end of days and all the rest of it, right? But the reality is that there's got to be a genuine sense of relief that it's not a whole bunch of roofs that have been torn off and people that have been hurt, again, apart from the ADF. Yes. So no. And I'm not arguing the point. I'm just saying is that but the concept of, this is normal, like it's not, right? Like it's like I've had many a wild night on the Gold Coast, never the one that I've had, but was it the end of the world? No. But sometimes after some nights on the GC, it has felt like the end of the world.
But Paul, where does this leave the narrative? Because everyone on the left was getting very excited that here was yet another example. We had Zali Steggles, probably the lowest, in my opinion, the lowest intellect in our federal parliament, and that's saying something, telling us that this was all to do with climate change, and we've had even Albo sort of pitched in with that one. Surely this, if you ask Gold Coast residents, they would tell you, yeah, we saw this in 1954, we've seen it, in fact, I'm sure there aren't many still alive, but they would remember 1899 perhaps even, where there was a similar. So, Paul, what do the Gold Coast think? Do they think this is climate change, or do they think this is business as usual up on this part of the world in the tropics?
No, that's exactly right. We are in the northern half of Australia. There are storms. Yes, this was the lowest one in a while. But as you say, you know, plenty of time before. I mean, actually, I was talking to a local MP, and their first cyclone that they went through, the Gold Coast had 60,000 people in it. So if the logic is more people equals more storms, well, that was when it had 60,000 people in it, and it was bigger than this. Now there's 600,000 on the Gold Coast. But again, to give you an idea of the map, from Bundaberg in the north to Coffs Harbour in the south, that's how much rain is up and down. People take it in their stride. But, yeah, I mean, again, end of days, not the case. Invented because of the multiple industrial revolutions and 8 million people on the planet. Well, we'll wait for the ABC to do an hour on that later in the day.
Which I'm sure they will. Paul Murray, thanks so much for standing out there in the rain to chat to us on Outside. It's always great to see you, mate.